Hunter's Point. I mean, Wu and McIsaac and Dobson and Addison and Ty Smith. I mean, they've all been really accomplished players for their junior teams and for Canada. They were all members of the 2017 Olympic gold medal winning team. Kevin Ball as well.
Quinn Hughes brings that around, back at the point for Kemp, back to Hughes. And Hughes spins away from Nick Suzuki, the Vegas first-round pick. Cody Glass in the Canadian lineup today as well. 2 first-rounders for Vegas. And back at center ice, here is Hughes. Vancouver first-round pick, drops it back to Cotter. He got bumped there by Suzuki. And in comes Paul Cotter, the Vegas 4th-round pick. He got knocked off stride. And now Suzuki chips it out for Hughes.
Jay O'Brien, good save by Matthew Welsh.
Here Olivier Joseph, an Arizona first-round pickup for Moran. That's broken up, and now Jack Drury hustles back, being watched by Antoine Moran. It goes back as Logan Cockrell chases him down, and Cockrell gets there first. Scooped up by Nick Suzuki, and Suzuki plays it back to center. And Matthew Tkachuk play against each other. You know they won't hold back. In comes Quinn Hughes, centers it. Brady Tkachuk knocked off stride. And picked back up by Anderson.
Well, again, we beat. That's exactly what we're seeing.
Hughes gave it away. Tkachuk takes it back, though. Tkachuk to Jack Hughes. In across the line. Hughes drops it off to Farabee. Back in front for Hughes. And a collision in front. The puck goes free to Entwistle. And Mackenzie Entwistle breaks it across for Fry. Farabee picks it off for Team USA. Back across the ice he goes for Hughes. Hughes knocked off stride, gets it right back. Throws it wide of the goal. Farabee back with it, centers it, and missed Wallstrom with it. Jack Hughes winds in. The puck knocked free and picked up by Antoine Moran.
You're going to get there.
Well, the example we've often talked about, Craig, is Jordan Everly at the summer camp in 2008 was ranked 44th by the coaching staff out of 44 players, but had a huge start to the year. Pat Quinn knew him from the under-18s. Everly made the team and made history.
And I mean,
the highest goal scorer for Canada in the world junior history. Morgan Frost, what a move, walks back in. The puck rolled off his stick. Cockrell back with it. Shoots from a sharp angle, knocked away by Welsh. Keane down to Joseph. Brought ahead now by Barrett Hayton of the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds.
Matthew Welsh reads it really well and doesn't give Jack Drury any opening.
Tkachuk needed a shovel there, not a stick. As Bowers works in, drops it back, and then shot fired high and wide by Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Farabee up for mismatch. That's broken up by Studnicka. Steps around Jack Hughes. Antoine Moran picks it back up for Canada. Looks back at Wu, goes the other way for Bowers. Back to Wu. Across he goes for Bernard Docker. And now Wu a long shot. A save made by Petruzzelli. Played with him what the situation was. LaFontaine was a 50-goal scorer. He could also put up 100 assists.
Look at the year that Alexander McGillney had. He doesn't have that year unless you're playing with somebody in the middle of the ice like Pat LaFontaine.
Well, LaFontaine was a right-handed shot, but there's so many similarities the way they skate, the elusiveness, the vision.
My favorite little thing about, well, I should say, one of my favorite little things about Pat LaFontaine, played for 3 different teams and never had to change his.
Moran walks in and shoots short side. The save made by Petruzzelli.
The USHL is a very strong junior league. And so when you start out with the U17 program and you're all 16-year-old players playing against 16 to 20-year-olds.
Here, Canada's gold medal winning goal in Saskatoon also came from a Newfoundlander, John Slaney. Gates is taken down by Wu. Along the boards, picked up by Moran. Up for Suzuki, who backhands it down to the American zone. Matthias Samuelsson goes back for it. Here is Noah Cates. 5th round pick of the Flyers in 2017. And a Big hit there as O'Brien was set flying. And brought back by Suzuki.
Very familiar with Caden Primo.
Keane swings back for it.
Jerry was telling me the other night when we were chatting that his son plays with Jerome McKinley's son in minor hockey in the Boston area.
Yeah. Jerome, of course, announced his retirement last week. A great Kamloops Blazer here, and of course, a terrific player internationally for Canada at the Olympics, the World Junior Championship. Part of Canada's gold medal win, and Norris back with it. Long lead pass for Connor, that's taken away by Joseph. Schedule announced this week for the upcoming World Junior, by the way. Canada will take on the Russians on New Year's Eve in Vancouver. And in comes Jack Hughes with it. Hughes drops it off. Knocked away from Joey Keane.
So obvious, but sometimes you try to make things out of players that don't have the qualities.
One of the things I noticed, calling games, is if you say a guy's name a lot.
Yeah.
Sounds simple, but it's true. I mean,
No,
or if you don't say his name at all. All of a sudden, you'll be calling a game in the second period and realize the guy's in the game. Joseph for Delandria. Up for Anderson. Dolan walks in. Flips it back for Rasmussen. A backhand shot stopped by Primo. Under 45 seconds to go here in the period. Joseph a long shot. That goes wide out the other side. Picked up by Mikey Anderson. Chmielewski bounces that down to the Canadian zone. And Joseph goes back for it. Jet Wu. Native of Winnipeg, who plays for Moose Jaw and Tim Hunter in the Western Hockey League. And intimidating, as you talked about, to play with top players.
yes.
And you often defer to them, right?
Human nature.
Here's O'Brien back with it. Up the center ice to Robertson. Slides it across to Quinn. Hughes has jumped in. In comes Hughes. Dissects the play. Sets it up. Walks in. Long wrist shot. Save made. Rebound. Score! Jay O'Brien's got his second. And he's with a terrific piece on Jared Anderson Dolan. His terrific parents.
Fran and Nancy. Jared's just a really determined, high energy leader, wants to be at the front of the line.
Penalty coming to Canada now as Jet Roots. They've been a really good drafting team for a long time in Philadelphia.
They have.
Really good.
And, you talk in all the different rounds, too.
Got Shane Goss to spare late. Farabee. Free agency not so kind to the Flyers. As Farabee centers it, Tkachuk plays it back across. Jack Hughes missed. Hughes had the open net and flipped it wide. They'll be paying Ilya Brizgalov well into the next decade on the buyout.
It's something, isn't it?
See that turn?
So I know the other day I talked about how Scott Niedermayer did so many things with his skating.
That puck went out.
As an injury, so when Brent Kissio has Kalen Addison, so when they get on these calls, there's also real information coming about not only their own players, but the players that are playing in their respective leagues, and that becomes really significant as well.
Bill Kemp plays it ahead, brought in now by Chmielewski. That's a Chmielewski, and it's taken away. Now Glass steps into Cates. Back to Kemp. To Robertson, to Quinn Hughes. Nifty move there around Glass. And Quinn Hughes still with it. Robertson. Back to Quinn Hughes. Across he goes.